to the soil mix and just kind of mix it up in there. Just helps with the drainage.
Is there a pH suggested thing that you want for the balance that you want for the succulents?
Not that I'm aware of. There might be, but that's below my head. To be honest with you. You could probably look it up on the internet. I haven't found anything like that, so, or anything that suggests that.
I just wondered when they make these special mixes, because a lot of times they're, you know, it's pretty pricey, and I'll get those for starting off, but then once the thing's doing really well, I just want to make my own or whatever, and I just...
You can. A lot of it's experimenting, you know?
That's what I do.
Yeah, just kind of experiment a little bit, you know, kind of mix up your own little mix, and so far I've just mixed up basically a little bit of the Rabbit Hill there. I have used a little Fertilome, but I like the Rabbit Hill a little bit better. There's a few different mixes out there, but like I said, I mixed up some of that Rabbit Hill cactus soil with a little bit of just regular potting soil, and it seems to really work good. It works great.
And you talked about watering today?
Sort of.
Yeah, I don't want to make it. But how much to water and how often to water on these kind of things?
Gosh, when you think about it, basically. Gosh, on average, probably about, if you're going to keep it indoors in a bright light situation or something like that, probably about once every 2 weeks or so. Outside, maybe a little bit more often, maybe about once a week. I don't really soak them. I just kind of walk through and give them a little splash and dash kind of thing, basically. Because they do like to stay more on the dry side.
What is that yellow leaf thing down there?
This one?
Yes.
This is a Sansevieria, or one variety of.
Like a mother-in-law.
Mother-in-law's tongue?
Yeah, yeah.
Now it's going to spread out more than get tall like
My mother-in-law's
normal
tongue.
ones you see, yeah, are tall, slender
Just like a
leaves.
mother-in-law's tongue.
I've got a few in there, yeah.
And I are one.
Anyway, that's one variety of. This is actually right here next to it is another variety of Calancho, actually.
Oh, that's pretty.
This one here.
Can we see that?
Sure, yeah. Isn't that neat?
How do
Now
you go
you-
about identifying?
It's hard. I can identify a lot of these, but a lot of these, like I said, I had to go online and or read by pictures and books.
Yeah, I mean,
A lot of
that's,
times.
you know, I can do it sort of by instinct to a certain extent, but like
Yeah.
I don't know, I never would have known on that one. That was-
Yeah, there's a lot of them that look so similar. You just really have to either look them up or the grower that I got these from actually was supposed to put little names on them for me and stuff, but he said he just ran out of time, didn't have time to do that for me. So he's a pretty busy guy too. So I didn't get the names on all of them, but.
Can that crown of thorns be out in full sun?
Yes, ma'am. I was just going to say, if y'all, when you leave or come back in, whatever, right outside the gate here, if you go outside gate to the big parking lot, look to your left, little area right there, or one of the guys here, Jerry, had planted one of those, and it was probably like in a 6-inch pot. It's covered an area of, it is
Did
just
he put it in the ground?
It's in the ground.
And did it winter?
It is beautiful.
You didn't
Well,
cover
we didn't have much of a winter this year.
No, we didn't. I lost.
I'm trying to remember when he planted it actually, so I think it was before spring, actually, yeah. So it was after the coldest, day we had. It was nothing to speak of.
I've got a question.
Yes,
Are you
ma'am.
going to put a topper in there, or any
Yes.
gravel or stuff?
Mm-hmm. I sure am.
Oh, you're not.
No, I'm getting there.
One more and one more.
He said he had one more.
Can't rush art.
What is that?
This is a little crassula, like sort of like
Those
the
are
one.
fun.
They're really neat because they're a little variegated, like this one in this little urn right here, sort of. It's just a little baby. But But actually, I just wanted to show you all how easy and simple it is to do something like this and really just enjoy it. Sure.
Can you mist these, or you recommend just watering them?
Just water. I would, yeah, just recommend watering them. If you keep them too wet, you might get, it might go down into the body of the plant and maybe just rot out a little bit if you keep them too wet like that.
Will they be attacked by, I guess, will they get like a fungus infection or anything like that?
That's possible too if you don't have enough like airflow for them. That's very possible.
So is that another reason for the clay pots? Because there's more, well, I mean, there's not
More
airflow,
absorption.
but there's more absorption.
Yes.
They can dry out.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah.
That's why I prefer something that's clay. But at the same time, like I say, you know, one of these glazed pots does very well, actually. It's personal preference. I've got stuff in there that I found this old fountain that we had back here in the shed, and you can see it is hung up on the post there. Wasn't being used, and I asked if I could plant something in it. It's a real rustic looking fountain. We have the parts for it, so I planted it up, and I think it turned out beautiful. I sold one a few months back, actually. But, it was really nice, and it did very well. Anyways, I'm just going to top this off. It's a good thing when you're working, excuse me 1 second, when you're working with these, if you're going to be working with something that's got, of course, spines or thorns, you know, you want to wear some gloves. But usually what I do is I just get a handful and just start filling in places here.
That's more for aesthetics, isn't it?
Exactly, yeah. But it just makes it look so much better. But you're exactly right. It's just basically for
Like
looks.
icing on the cake.
Does
Exactly.
it sort of give a little bit of a mulch as well, that if you're not going to be, say you're going to be gone for 3 weeks, if you have the rock sun, does it keep it, or does it?
Not really. No. I don't think so. Doesn't really have that effect.
Do those moisture tablets or gels or whatever, are they really not good for succulents? You know, like when we do hanging baskets and potted plants, and there is an addition you can do to the pot.
I don't know, Sylvia. I don't think those would
Work for
really
succulents.
come into
Okay.
play in succulents. Yeah.
But when she was talking about being gone, I
Yeah.
thought, you know,
If you look up the definition of succulent or cacti, it's on your handout there. It's a plant that has any fleshy stem or leaf structure or body of the plant that holds water.
Okay.
Actually, so a lot of times something like this or this desert rose here that does have a big bulbous
Yeah.
base to it, that holds a lot of water in there. It's like their little water reservoir. And anything like this aloe vera, even these thin leaves here on this calancho, this echeveria, they all hold water.
it really looks nice.
You know, pretty.
Yeah.
So like I said, you know, just a little imagination goes a long ways, and that's what I just try to show people, that how easy and how fun these things can be. And they're just such a big variety of these out there. And
That's last before you had to replant.
I'm sorry?
How long would a container like that last before you had to replant or before it gets overgrown?
Quite a while, actually. Probably the first thing just for height, I use this because I'm running out of plants that got a little height to it in there. But I just use that for a little height. But actually, this will probably be the first thing that I would take out of there probably and let it go. That's up to you. You know, as it gets older and starts filling out. You know, of course, I think they look a lot better when they're nice and full. They fill out.
Whichever is when they start putting out little babies.
You can detach those. Yeah, you can leave them on or detach them and plant them. And I would just start off in a little 4-inch pot or something, put them in there with some soil until they establish some roots. And then you could put them in another cactus garden or just whatever you want to do with them.
I noticed that those 20 kill ponds.
Give them some to your friends.
Yeah, okay.